Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video, I'm going to be letting you know everything you're going to need to about this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Starting this Thursday until next Thursday, we have some crazy good discounts on very solid vehicles, which I'll be reviewing as well this week. We also have massive bonuses, and let's start off with those bonuses because that's what most of you are here for. We have double money on the Doomsday Heist Act 3, which is huge. Last week we had the Cayo Perico Heist, and if you're watching this video at the time it's recorded, you still have the chance to get the Panther statue. But this week, you are going to be able to get your hands on double money on the Act 3 heist, meaning that you can take over $3 million. The only downside is that you need 2 people to do the heist. So I would highly recommend to join my server, find other people to do the heist with, because it's going to pay you a lot of money. I'm going to be doing the heist and earning a boatload. Funny enough, the Doomsday Heist scenario is actually the best way of earning money in the game, even without double money, but you always need somebody else to grind, so that's the downside. But after Rockstar has doubled the amount of money you could make in the past, basically you're earning quadruple the amount of money now, which is insane. It's a really good heist, and they're fun if you haven't done them already. Keeping in line with that, facilities are also 40% off. So not only do you get to purchase a facility and all the upgrades on discount, but you also get double money on the final heist. If you don't own a Deluxo or any of the vehicles inside the heists as well, you'll get the trade prices, which is even better if you ask me. Also, completing the Act 3 will earn you $100,000 for the weekly challenge. So yeah, you're getting a boatload of cash this week. Now let's actually talk about this week's deals and discounts. Starting off, we have the Ocelot Penetrator as the prize ride. It's pretty easy to get your hands on. You have to place top 5 3 days in a row. In other words, do a race with one other person, and that's it. Just do that 3 days in a row. Congratulations, now you have an Ocelot Penetrator. It's only worth $900,000 as we can see, but it's a fun vehicle. It's not the fastest at 123. Neither is its lap time anything impressive. It's based off a Jaguar XJ220, but it's a fun car, and because of that, I can't say it's all too bad. We move over to the discounted vehicles now. We start off with the Autark, which is, I think, a really fun supercar. It's still within the top 20 of supers in terms of lap time, and the top 23 in terms of top speed at 126 miles per hour. If you play on PC like me, then it's actually even faster. However, I have good news. I have finally purchased a console. I purchased a PlayStation Pro yesterday, which means that it's arriving tomorrow from Amazon. Thank you. And I will be recording content on console, which I've really been wanting to do for a while. GTA is coming out on fall of 2025, so I figured I got a year, might as well get used to a PlayStation, because I use an Xbox remote, as you can see, so I have to get used to a PlayStation remote, so that's all a bunch of stuff I'm going to have to get used to. Either way, just thought I'd mention that. I'm really excited to mess around with the HSW vehicles, because I won't feel like I'm gate-kept for now on, but I had to spend $1,200 to buy a capture card, a console, and a remote that was similar in economics to the Xbox remote. But that aside, the Autark, I think, is a really good car, and you can get it for around $1.2 million this week. That's an incredible deal for a vehicle that I think is really fast, very fun to customize. It looks great. It's honestly a super good car. I would personally recommend to pick it up if you don't have it. Next up, we arrive to the Pfister Neon, which is based off the Porsche Taycan. It's a fun car. It's not the fastest, as we can see. Its lap time is mediocre. Its top speed is really slow. But it's a decent sports car, it's fun, and sitting at around $1 million, it's not that expensive of a purchase price either, so it's not bad, it's just nothing amazing either. And that brings us to a vehicle that I have always really liked, which is the Vorschlaghammer. This vehicle is fun. It goes 122 miles per hour, and it's in the sedans class, so it's one of the fastest sedans in the game. The only problem is that it's a sedan, so yeah, it's basically just a worse sports car, to think of it like that, but it's got a lot of customization, as we can see. It looks really cool, and because of that, I can still say the Vorschlaghammer is a very fun vehicle to mess around with, and it's 40% off, meaning that you can get it for around $1 million this week. That's actually pretty good. I would definitely recommend to consider picking it up if you, actually it's 30% off, but it's still a fun vehicle. It's not a bad shout if that's the kind of vehicle you are into. Now we got some interesting ones. We have the Chernobog, which is the $1.5 million, so 30% 30% off $1 million missile firing vehicle. We can see its missiles there. It's super dangerous. The problem is you need two people to make it effective. It's slow. It drives over vehicles, causes them to blow up, which then causes it to blow itself up. It's all right. I can't really recommend to purchase it, but if you did want to pick it up, $1 million is pretty inexpensive when you consider how easily you can grind money in GTA Online. Next up, we have the Anis Silvestra. Let's take a look at the Silvestra. It's all right. Again, nothing special. It is a decently fast sports car, but it's not anything crazy fast at 118 miles per hour. Its lap time isn't anything crazy good. It's middle of the road for the sports class. Sports classics. It's not very expensive though, $990,000. So for 30% off, you can get it for around $600,000. I'd say it's a decent pickup if you want to get a, kind of cool muscle car slash sports classic. It's got a lot of customization. It's actually a fun vehicle, so it's a decent pickup for how cheap it is. It sounds kind of lame when you look at it, but it's actually quite fun. Now, here we have an amazing purchase. This is something that all of you should be picking up, which is the Akula. This is normally a $3.3 million vehicle, and if you don't have the trade price through the Doomsday Heist setup, then it's $4.5 million. But most of you should be getting the trade price, judging that you should also be messing around with the Doomsday Heist scenario this week. But even if you don't have the trade price, you're going to be saving over $1 million on this vehicle with a 30% discount, around $1.2 million. That's a lot of money. And because of that, I can 100% say to pick up the Akula. Even if it wasn't on discount, I'd say to pick it up. It's an incredible helicopter. It has a stealth mode, meaning that people won't see you when you're flying around in a public lobby. It has homing missiles. It has a machine gun that somebody else can control. It's fast. It's incredible to fly because of how cool it looks. It's an awesome helicopter. It's definitely worth the pickup. You won't regret it. It's a fun one. I don't use it as much as I use the Sparrow because the Sparrow kind of defeats the purpose of a lot of vehicles, but it's still a beast. Keeping in line with the Doomsday scenario vehicles, we also have the Thruster. Thruster is actually pretty fun. It goes 126 miles per hour. It's pretty quick to call in right through the interaction menu. It's normally quite expensive at $2.5 million. Again, if you do the Doomsday scenario heist, it's down to $1.8 million, and if you have the discount, then it's down to like $1.2 million. When you pair that with the fact that this has missiles, it's pretty fun to mess around with overall, and it has flares, I actually think the Thruster's really fun. And for the discount, pick it up. Even without the discount, I think it's still a decent pickup because it's kind of like a different version of the Oppressor Mark II. A lot of people don't even realize that, but I think it's really fun, so I would definitely consider picking up the Oppressor. Then we have the TM02 Khanjali, which is obviously a rail cannon firing tank. It's fun to mess around with. It's basically just a better version of the Rhino tank. It's normally $3.8 million, and if you have the Doomsday Heist setup mission, you can get it for $3 million, and with the discount, you can get it for around $2 million, so a decent discount overall. If you don't own the tank, this is a good time to pick it up. I'm not going to say it's anything special, because tanks sound amazing. Unfortunately, GTA is filled with flying vehicles, the Deluxo. You have the Oppressor Mark II, Sparrows, jets like the Raiju, and the problem is the tank just can't deal with them. If Rockstar simply added a missile lock-on jammer, the tank would be so good. But right now, because it doesn't have that, it's still pretty useless against people in the air. It's fun to use for certain missions, but you can't actually use it in missions, so they have to be public mode missions. It's alright, but I don't know. I'd say pick it up if you don't have it, but apart from that, it's not something you're going to pull out like every single second. Now we have an absolutely useless supercar, the Ubermacht SC1, which is pointless. It's not very fast, it's not very good on lap time, it's not a very good supercar, and it's pretty expensive at $1.6 million. Even at the price tag of $1.1 million, I can't recommend to buy it. It doesn't have good customization going for it. It's just not a good supercar. It's probably one of the worst supercars in the game, to be entirely honest. And that brings us to the final discount this week, which is the Volatile. It is a super massive jet. It's cool. It's very cool, but doesn't have much going for it. I mean, I think it has bombs, if I'm not mistaken, and it looks epic. But you need other people inside of it to actually make it useful. It's fast, but not that fast. Honestly, it's just a big waste of money. Even at discount, I would not recommend to get your hands on this jet. So this is all of the discounts this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know what you guys think, but personally, I think really only The first couple discounts I talked about were quite good, especially the ones involving the Doomsday Heist setups that you get on trade price, but don't get the vault at all. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.